All right, let's do this. It is Friday, August 14th. Let's make this fast and quick. Let's get it out of the way. So, a day of arguably bullish consolidation. So, Thursday saw a breakout, full confirmation of the wedge revenue strike high. Today was just kind of bullish consolidation ahead of the weekend. That's all it was. Momentum is weakening a little bit, but really it remains positive. And considering structure, we should go up for a few days at least next week. And again, probably Monday, Tuesday up at least. Wednesday, Thursday chop, and then of course Friday is OPEX. So you know, the issue is where they're gonna want to pin us. I mean, 7,800, 7,900, 7,900 looks a stretch, but it is possible. And of course the VIX is doing nothing, right? It's just they pinned it at 14 and a quarter. Yesterday's black candle played out, momentum remains negative. Again, the default is VIX will stay subdued. Yeah, little twitches into mid-September. Again, the issue would be, does the Fed raise rates September 16th? I think they do, but the market does generally, it's about 50-50 right now. Market people think the Fed's going to raise rates. Again, when you're talking about all this focus on one stinking rate cut, it really is, it's tedious and it almost bores me. But, you know, it is what it is. Individual stocks, let's go through a few. Apple has a pretty good double low from 299,300, closed up 0.2, which is actually better than the main market. Cyclically low, Apple should go up into mid-September when we have the foldable phone. Archer Aviation called back. It did print a higher low though, so that's still short-term bullish. 3.4%. Oh yeah, AMD up 6.5%. That's impressive. Daily momentum has turned positive. That's pretty good into September. Amazon down 0.9. You can just argue it's just a retrace from a new historic high, right? Look at this big support level around 256 or so. That should hold. Again, I'm just going to skip through some of these because I don't have the time or the energy, and the market itself is just a broad chop fest today. So there hasn't been that many movers. I mean, look at that, Bank of America up 0.6, still absolutely midterm bullish. Don't care about some of these. Cat up 0.2, just a lot of chop. Cleveland Cliffs down 2, but the stock is a midterm mess. Coinbase down 3.5, not great, huh? Salesforce. So we have a bearish engulfing candle from the 200 day. That's definitely leaning net bearish for Monday in tech software. Disney jumped 2%. Short-term structure of a bull flag started to play out yesterday. Fully playing out today. Next resistance around 109, 110-ish. So we're probably going to pre-printing 109, 110 next week. Energy transfer back on the rise. Google fractionally down, don't care. Home Depot has earnings next week, down 0.8%. Retail sales today, data was not good today. Why is anybody surprised about that? Intel down 2%. Lithium Americas off 5 cents. MP materials rather spiky from a 200-day, but really it's a mess. Micron up 2.3%. That is a black candle, but still, we're back above the 50-day now. That again, this head and shoulders is clearly not going to play out. You can argue there was a little mini tech crash, 1254, 737. That was a fake out breakdown, and now we're clawing upwards. You got to think at some point we're going to take out 1254, and that looks like it's going to happen before year end, right? Remember the PE ratio for this is about 7 or 8 right now. Still cheap. Netflix consolidation after yesterday's gain. Nike just horrible. Nvidia chop. ONDS up 3.7%. Remember there was a story today. Trump 100% tariffs on drone imports. So that helped a lot of the drone companies. Oracle stuck down 3.6%. Wow. I've been mentioning this since last week, and look, 25.32. I guess most of you don't care. Most of you have no interest. I had no particular interest, but earnings were good. The market whacked it down on good numbers, and the stock did rebound quite fast, though. Again, it's 30, 32 now. 40 looks realistic in September. 50 by year end, in my view, and 100 next year. P is approximately 7 or 8 right now. That's a weak dead cat bounce after yesterday's drop. Black candle, drop, black candle, which bodes bearish for Monday. Palantir cooling back 2.8. What to say, huh? What to say about this? I will note that we had a little bounce off the IPO 135s. Stock settled precisely at 140. Short-term structure on an hourly chart is a baby bull flag. You can argue a bull flag on the daily chart as well, maybe. My soft target for Monday will be, I guess, upper Bollinger is 145, right? Okay, so maybe 145 to 147 on Monday, and then maybe cool back a bit on Tuesday, maybe, but then 150 looks realistic next week. I mean, look, we were 149 on Wednesday, right? So 150 isn't bold. Yeah, I like the fact that we did have a reasonable spike off of key price threshold of the 135s. And 176, is that possible by the end of the month? Yeah, it's possible. But if it doesn't, then okay, early September instead. But between 140 and 176, there's a couple of trades within here, right? So I'm holding long across the weekend. But I will be looking to do hit and runs in this over and over again. But we're not going under 104, are we? That's a solid floor now, 104, 105. Again, you can get hysterical about Elon or whatever. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I wouldn't be short SpaceX. Tesla, bit of a mixed day. We got to like 351. So that filled $10, but the gap still goes up to 374. You got to think we have a good chance of this either next week or the following week. Let's just jump to oil. $1.12. Yeah, oil did claw up into the late afternoon ahead of the weekend. When who knows? Who knows what will happen this weekend? I would note, daily momentum remains positive fractionally. This is a bull flag. A natural target would be teal gap that starts at 86 and goes up to around 90. So we could see a jump next week into teal gap. Of course, if that's the case, equities will be struggling. But maybe that won't happen until later in the week. But in theory, it's a bull flag. It could go one day more across, but then it would have to either break up or it's going to fail. It's a messy one. I'm not involved. I can't be meddling in that kind of split situation. Gold, $25. You could argue this is a bull flag, but we need to break above the 200 day, which is 44.89. Let's just call it 4,500. If you can break above 4,500, then we can start to say that this is a kilo at 39.51. Right? I would accept if we can break above 4,500, then off we go to 5K. Even if rates go up. Silver up 0.3%, 0.4. Again, structure is a baby bull flag. Doesn't mean we can't be down on Monday. A little bit. Let's look at silver on a 5-minute. So yeah, gap higher. I bailed around. Where did I bail? About there. Yeah. Yeah, I got it about there, I think. It's either there or there. I'm not quite sure. Can't remember. But anyway, I got out near the top, and then, I did watch it go down across the day thinking, do I want to add? Do I want to buy it back into the close? I'm like, no, I'm going to wait. Um, you could argue this is just gap filling. On a weekly chart, which is kind of what catches my eye. Let's go to silver commodity. Yeah, look at this. It's due to turn positive, not next week, but the following. So as of Monday, August 24th, momentum's due to turn positive, which we haven't seen since March. So when it turns positive, this would be supportive of the notion that we're flawed from the 55s ish. Actually, I think that candle there is actually 54. Yeah, let's just check. I'm sure it's 54s. Sometimes stock charts doesn't show the lows properly. There, yeah, the cycle low week commencing July 13th was 54.74. So if we can break much higher, again, there's plenty of upside to on a Bollinger 84, $20 up. That could be it, right? Bubble pop, capitulation on the floor, and that's bullish. Not it could be next week, but more so the following week, and then all the way into September, maybe early next year. So yeah, we've burnt off all the overbought. It's all gone. Don't have to worry about that anymore. It's been dealt with. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up. I wasn't just mindlessly babbling about nothing in particular, but what chart do we want to end with? I'll indulge my own interest. Why not? But yeah, I think SpaceX is an interesting one to be trading. So I did a good trade yesterday, and I'm in another trade now, holding across the weekend from one. And I'm going to hope for 145, 147 on Monday, which would make for a pretty good exit actually. And more broadly, though, 176. And I would be open to 200 late September, early October, maybe. Depends on when the Anthropic IPO happens or not. I don't know. We'll just see all that. But yeah, at least I've had a couple of green exits this week, which is a start. Anyway, I wish you a good weekend, and I might do some videos this weekend, but I have other priorities, so I'll only be doing weekend videos if I have the time. Other than that, be good.